I'm back again, episode 3. And Ruth was found laying at the feet of Boaz on the threshing floor, and Boaz woke up and he asked what she was doing there, and she said, well, actually, I'm the daughter-in-law of your cousin, Naomi, and Naomi asked me to do this. And he said, oh, that's wonderful, my goodness. And Boaz said, well, from now on, when you glean, he said, I will be sure you have plenty, and you can even go out in the field and drink the water and everything. And but Boaz was falling in love with Ruth. And to make a long story short, they got married. And Boaz took Ruth and Naomi both into his house and cared for them. And now Boaz was very rich, and he had a very large home. And he was a well-to-do man and well-known, and he loved the Lord very much. But do you remember the story a while back we told about Joshua taking down the walls of Jericho with God's help, or God helping Joshua, or Joshua helping God? And remember, there was a lady in Jericho that said she loved God, and she hung down a scarlet rope so 2 spies could see it and rescue her so she didn't get hurt when the walls came down. One of those spies, his name was Salmon, S-A-L-M-O-N, like the fish. His name was Salmon. And Salmon was a very godly man. Well, they rescued Rahab. Salmon and Rahab fell in love. They got married. And they had a little boy named Boaz. So here we have Boaz, who is the son of a former harlot who turned to God. And we have Ruth is a Moabite woman who used to worship idols. And so we have these 2 people coming together, the son of a harlot, ex-harlot, and the daughter of a idol worshiper out of Moab. They both loved the Lord very much. And they had a little boy, and they named him Obed. Obed had a little boy, and they named him Jesse. And Jesse had a little boy, and he was the father. Jesse was the father of David, the king of Israel. And so now we're starting to connect the dots. And remember, God has Jesus in mind since Genesis. He's got Jesus in mind, and we're taking all these wonderful pictures, these sonograms. Another way to put it is like at the beginning in Genesis, if you're looking down a mountain and you're looking down on a river flowing through the valley, well, you know that if somebody puts a little bottle in the start at the mouth of the river, and you see them put that in, and the river's flowing, and the bottle is carrying a very important message, a package. Somebody puts it in the river, and the bottle starts going down the river, and Satan is right there. He's putting up rocks, and it's hitting rocks, it's hitting roots, it's hitting tree branches, but it keeps on flowing down the river, and it's going. And there is a great battle going on since the beginning of time between God and Satan. And Satan is throwing things in the river, trying to stop this bottle from going down the river, this bottle with this precious little package in it, and it's hitting all these, but God has a way of going around it, even though it's a very feeble, like little passage, but it's a bottle that leads right to the birth of a baby in the manger, and it leads to the cross for our salvation and his resurrection again for our new life in Jesus Christ. So we're following this little bottle. We're looking at the sonograms, and Ruth and Boaz play a very important part in this. Did you know, I got to tell you one more thing about this, that Boaz's house, his good big home, very archaeologists and historians and ministers agree that it seems as though, and they're quite sure, that Boaz's house became, through history, the room where Mary and Joseph stopped at the inn. Boaz's house was that inn. That's where they stopped. And it's kind of ironic to me that, because actually Jesus should have inherited that house through the line of kings, through David and through Solomon and everything, but the house got sold off by Solomon. But if it was still in the family, Jesus would have inherited the house of Ruth and Boaz, and that was the inn where they stopped, and they said, sorry, no room for you. That's kind of sad. So anyway, the story goes on. God always wins. See you later. Bye-bye.